Well, hello everybody. Today's video is a bit of a different one. I've been doing Blender videos, and today is a Blender video too, but instead of me doing something in Blender, I'm going to be showing off some other people's artworks. Back in January and February, myself along with another Blender user put together a little community art challenge that we called Blenduary. I always love to participate as much as I can in Inktober, where artists have a word for every day of October, and you just have to draw something that you get an idea from that word. As I was doing that last year, I kept finding myself wanting to answer those prompts doing a Blender project instead of just drawing it. Long story short, I connected with another Blender user by the name of Mike Edwards who has similar idea. Him and I got together and collaborated and came up with ideas, and we made Blenduary. My hand doesn't show up because my camera doesn't go over that far. Anyway, we made a Blenduary art prompt thing. We did it for January, but we also extended it into February, and after those months were over, I promised that I would make a little video highlighting some of my favorite entries from the users who participated. And it's definitely over. It's definitely after that time. I've been moving and looking for a job and all kinds of stuff, and I kind of forgot to make this video, but I'm making this video now. First up, I'm going to look through the entries by Mike Edwards. This is the fellow that he also had the idea for this, and him and I came up with ideas for like words and stuff. He participated a lot. Some beautiful texture work here. This one is fun. The word for that day was embroidery. He followed a tutorial and also used a little geometry nodes tool that he downloaded from somewhere in order to make Suzanne. It does look like realistic threads. He probably used a curve to get the shape of each of the letters. I love the depth of field as well. Perfect choice with the texture. I don't know if this was intentional, but I like the color choice too, just because it's blue cloth and orange letters, because it's the, you know, the Blender colors. This one was fun. Tessellate was the word. Dellarite columns. That's what those are called, I guess. I know there's a geological site in, I believe it's Iceland, where there are these columns of hexagonal rocks. That's really cool. It's tessellating. It's literally something that's broken up into little shapes, and then the polyhaven rock texture. Okay, so I do all of my textures procedurally, so it's hard for me to wrap my head around how someone UV unwraps this. I don't know if he UV unwrapped all of these little rock stacks to get the textures on there, but either way, they look beautiful. I love geology, I love nature, so that's just a really cool. And then day 7 was portal. He didn't write a lot, so he left it up to interpretation. So it looks like we have a scientist here has invented a portal. She can look and see herself. That's really cool, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to see some nice fun entries. This one was cool. I liked this one. The idea was like very simple, but so, I don't know, so lovely. The word of the day was kaleidoscope. So he literally just made 3 planes in a triangle shape and made them all mirrors, and then had a subject in the middle. I'm just imagining like a street photographer finding this random prop around his house, and he's just going around shooting pictures of it and asked this model here to get a little shot right here. Lovely model in the middle, and just the effect with the mirrors. The word for day 4 was spider. If you are arachnophobic, just a forewarning, I am going to zoom in on this artwork here. Mike Edwards came up with a little bit of nightmare fuel here, which I think is cool. Sort of scary if you're not into spiders. Just came back from Australia. He just came back from Australia before he made this, so that's part of the inspiration. We see the assets, the toilet here, the floor, and the spider, all very well put together and orchestrated to give you some nice nightmare fuel. The materials, and of course the models chosen and put together are all very top-notch. And spiders are just cool because nature is cool. Oh, this one is cool. The word for today was photon. I like this. I like the nice close-up on the face. I like that there's some kind of glossiness on the face, so that picks up some more reflection of the little lights. We have some shadowed areas where the lights aren't hitting. This one gets me a little bit of an emotional feel, kind of a wonder, like curiosity or just the universe, like those are little stars or something, but very nice composition, nicely composited. Very well done, Mike. Oh, you know, I keep forgetting. Let me look through the ones that I just looked at, because I know that Mike got a few under the post for the spider one. Bart Veldhusen, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Bart, I'm sorry. He commented and featured this work of Mike's, very deservedly so, to be featured on Blender Nation, so that's really cool. And I know Mike had a few others. Artifact, this one is cool. I like the idea. You're walking around and you just see this kind of door thing with a, what do you call it? It's a hinge, a wheel? Yeah, a wheel on it, and it's like you wonder what that used to be. So he made the door himself. He used an HDRI, that was an asset, and the plants were assets. I feel like I used the word inspiring too much. Very thought-provoking. Just imagining walking through the woods and seeing this strange abandoned remnant of a door still standing around. Now here's one that is definitely one of my favorites. I love the movie Tron. I love its sequel, Tron Legacy, even more. People could fight me, but I love the aesthetic of it. The new Tron that's supposed to be coming out, the 3rd Tron movie, which I can't wait for this October. Anyway, getting off topic, but I love the light cycles going through this kind of corridor type thing. We have some numbers on the side, so that's telling time. I don't know if that's years. It could be years, because I think the original Tron came out in 1989, and we're already past the 80 mark there, so that might be, maybe they're in 1989 there. I don't know if that's what he was thinking when he put those numbers there, but that's the way I'm gonna interpret it. And we have this little thing right here, changing the course of one of these light cycles, and I wonder what that could mean. I guess it could be changing course, which I think is something that all of us is good for us to do in our life, in our own personal timeline. First entry for me in Blenduary where it's entirely made without add-ons or outside models. Bravo, Mike. Which, of course, there's absolutely no shame in using assets, but the fact that you did this day's work without any assets, that's wonderful. I'm just thinking about before 1989, when they had to model the original ones. Back in those days, it was, of course, a lot harder to model in the computer because it was all so new. Bravo. Again, the abyss. Oh, he put a little quote with this one. We all breathed liquid for 9 months, bud. Your body will remember. Oh, yeah, from the movie The Abyss. I like this little callback. Superb human model. I wonder if the suit was an asset as well. Okay, so the textures are assets, but you created the suit. I've never worked on like an astronaut suit or anything like that myself, but I just know that there's so many decisions to be made and modeling challenges. When I see this, it looks like a scene from a movie. Hourglass. Like crabs through the hourglass, so are the crabs of our lives. Geometry nodes to generate the all-important falling crabs. Nice. Did you use simulation nodes in geometry? Or was it literally just the other geometry nodes? I don't know, but something about this I just like. I think it's the lighting and the materials. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I like this. Maybe it's also that the camera has such a wide angle and you're like so close to it, so the 3D-ness of the whole model really pops out. It's very atmospheric. I just like that it's like floating in the sky, just basking in the sunlight. I didn't think that this artwork stood out to me, that I would feature it as one of my favorites, but now that I look at it, something about it just grabs me. I like it. This one was cute. Let's see, the word for the day was vortex, and I just love the complete randomness. See, the problem with me is I have a hard time coming up with ideas for challenges like this. Even my own challenge, even though I'm literally one of the ones who came up with all the words, like I have a hard time deciding, oh, what do I want to do for today? And I just love how Mike seems to like whatever random idea enters his mind, he just does it. It's like a social media feed, all the people reacting with emojis, and it's a live thing, and we're seeing this banana tornado. It's something that maybe normally wouldn't appeal to me, but just the randomness and the dedication, it's just a fun little concept. And then my favorite, a mermaid. Traced bitmap of a mermaid. Now, what does that mean? I'm kind of stupid, so I have to get these terms. Traced bitmap, that means that this mermaid is not three-dimensional, it's just a cardboard cutout? It looks 3D, and it may be 3D. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding, but if it isn't 3D, the volume just makes it pop and makes it look 3D, which, of course, if it isn't 3D, that's great. It makes it look like something it isn't, and if it is 3D, then that's great because it just makes it look 3D, even though it's literally just a beautiful silhouette. Mermaids are such a lovely subject to make art on, so that's a fun one. This one's cool. I love the model of the turtle. We have the lily pads in the background, we have some water above them, and the beautiful light rays coming through the water, the depth of field with the grass down there, and of course the blurry background, the depth of field there. Lovely shades of green. I could see this being a shot from a movie, an animation, like a little nature doc. I could just soak in this image for a long time. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Wonderfully done, Mike. Let's see what else we got. This one is cool. With a word like retro, there's so many ways to interpret it and decide what kind of artwork you want to make, but I like the choice that Mike made here, how they made the first cornel boxes. Look at all of these assets that he used. The hanger itself, the chair, the forklift. If you are new to the 3D community, which I doubt because you're watching this video, but if you're just learning Blender or something like that, this Cornell box back here is a famous little computer-generated room where like you can test lighting situations, basically, and materials, kind of. So this is making it as if it's like a real-world thing and not just like a little computer-generated test. I like when we have things that are totally not from the real world, but we pretend like they are from the real world. It's just a fun little brain teaser kind of thing. And then we have the last day, which I didn't get to do because January was busier than I expected it to be. But I think a lot of people worked. There were a lot of people that wanted to participate in Blenduary and they weren't able to because their January was busy, so I guess I shouldn't feel so bad. Thanks for a great first Blenduary. Extra thanks to Nerdcraft. That's me for putting this all together with your help, Mike. Thank you so much. 2 previous entries in the Blender are from me. Oh, so these are his other artworks. I like that. That's clever, Mike. So we see the mermaid. That's the turtle one. That's the cascade, the diffused one. That's the spaceship one. We have the Cornell box one on the bottom. And I don't know why it's a skeleton, but that's a wonderful choice. Why not a skeleton? Getting ready to press the button there, or the button. How'd an L sneak in that word? The button. And then we have a little hashtag Blenduary on the bottom. Wonderful. And I think that's all for Mike's entries. Now here we have Ninja Cat George. Lovely entry for day 2. Word of the day was crystal. This is just gorgeous. Beautiful with all these blue crystals with this little illuminated mushroom in the middle, rays coming from the top. Your signature on the bottom, that's a very cool signature. I like that. The little crystals here in the shadow, in the dark there, but never fear, they are not going unnoticed. Very, what's the word? Fanciful. Very fanciful setting. So this is the raw render, and then that's the final. Oh, that mushroom wasn't there. So you added that mushroom in post, I take it. Okay, very cool. We have some more little grass details there. Wow, lovely attention to detail, Isaac. I love the color quality, just how this image glows. And this is definitely a personal favorite because I like space. I like planets. Chiba, a small desert planet. It's war-ravaged. Okay, this is dramatic, so I have to get my dramatic voice on. Chiba, a small desert. I can even read it correctly. Chiba, a small desert planet, its war-ravaged surface of sand and dust baked by the blinding sun. The only species that can survive are Chibans, the natives of the planet. Just a beautiful shot of the planet. Just look at that atmosphere. And an atmosphere like that is not easy to pull off because that's volumetric. That's an actual volumetric atmosphere, I can tell. And the texture work on the surface, however you did the texture, beautiful planetary texture. Wonderful job, Isaac. Day 8, the word for the day was orrery, which I didn't know what the heck that was, but the word popped up in the word generator that I was using to come up with ideas for words of the day. And it turns out an orrery is one of those mechanical clockwork models where you have maybe the whole solar system. Oh, that's smart. The feather wasn't there in the original composite, but he superimposed that in. Work smarter, not harder. Just put it in afterwards. You still have the shadow from the model that you use. This scene is just another simple scene done in a simple scene. He calls this simple, folks. So we have some little chemistry things there, and then we have the actual orrery mug with tea or coffee. I like this in the back. I thought maybe it was a drink at first, but it actually looks like a container because it has something glowing inside, and there's something written on the side in some unknown language. I love the wall in the back. I personally just love finished dark wood kind of styles. Like if I could live in a house like that, it looks like you've modeled a bunch of detail there. By the looks of it, this is just a simple wall back here. And if you would have left it like that, then it would have been very empty feeling. But the fact that all you had to do, if I'm interpreting the images correctly, is just slap a texture back there, it looks so filled in, not boring in the least. Oh! Bart featured Isaac's work here on Blender Nation too. Very well deserved. Abyss, model a subdivided cube for the creature. Let us see. Let's maximize this here. Oh, I forgot about this. I do remember seeing it now. I love those sun rays, and the creatures are just epic. And for me, I'm a creature design lover. I love speculative biology, so like that just tickles me pink. The caustics shining on the actual creatures and just the creatures themselves, and it's cool because it's like they're kind of hidden in the murk, so we can't like see the heads of the creatures. We just see mostly like the tail and the fins and stuff, so it's very cryptic and very mysterious. I like that. Wonderful. At no notes at all. It's just beautiful. This one was impressive. Oh, it's an animation too. I forgot that. Phone footage. Okay, so like someone was recording this on their phone. Ooh, and we have sound with it. Okay, I think what he's doing is he's taking actual phone footage and compositing that element in, because that's just all too realistic to be made in Blender in one day. Then we have that neat little sunken thing from space. It must have crash landed there. This one was wonderful. Look at the detail this man put in the armor, all of the decals on the side, the logos, the texturing, the different color choices for different parts and sections. The eye looks like an actual camera. I mean, this is almost something that I could imagine being made for real. So much work. Just look at the detail in all of these parts. I don't know if he did this all in one day. I think this work might have been spread out over a few days, which is okay. The point of Blenduary is to do it in one day, but you know, I'm not gonna get mad at anybody for artistry. I mean, you know, come on, this is amazing. Oh, and you have it rigged. Oh, the eyes move. The mouth opening. Nice. Got to be proud of yourself, man. All of these mechanisms. Oh, and there's more? Of course there's more. Wow, all of those parts can be repositioned. Fantabulous. Now I have to check. But not on that exact same post that had the Blenduary hashtag in it. So this is a real image, I believe, and then he composited his model in, and it looks flawless. It looks real. We have the shadow on the sea floor there. I mean, and the color matches perfectly. Just amazing. And the point that I was making in looking up this other forum post is Indeed, it was featured on Blender Nation. Very well deserved. I think that's all from Ninja Cat George. We have one person that made an entry for day 17. Even if you only participate one day, wonderful. I just have to feature this person's other work. These two especially, amazing nature scenes. I really want to click on that one, but I'll look at it later because this is literally for Blenduary. The word for day 17 was mirage, and look at that. This one got featured on Blender Nation. See, if you participate in Blenduary, you could get featured on Blender Nation because a lot of these entries did. But oh, just the nature. Okay, the image is all warped and funny looking because it's a mirage. The texture work, these assets, these trees, the lighting, the sunlight, the geology here, the plants here with the water in the middle, the trees, very wonderful. I love nature scenes, so that just gets a huge plus. I'm gonna go to Instagram because there are a couple people that posted their work on Instagram, so let us take a look at those. So this is by Chris Trotter. I'm gonna try to keep up with Blenduary thanks to Nerdcraft. Thank you for participating, Chris. Thank you. I do not know how you made this. I would imagine maybe you have some like refraction going on, different kinds of things going on underneath. Very abstract, and abstract is cool. And then this one was by our friend Synopsic. I actually met him at the Blender conference in LA last year. Our friend Synopsic here made an answer to the word of the day that was crystal. We have some discarded bricks here. We have a large pipe here, some kind of room. But if y'all didn't notice, this is not an image. This is a video. Look at the color change of those crystals there. He has a little loop and the crystals change color. So that's really cool. And I believe the rest of the works here are from Chris. The word of the day was workshop, and we can get into the details of the texture work and the models, the plants, and the building itself. But I like the story he has going on here where there's this blue glow on the inside. Something's going on in there, maybe a mad scientist or something. This one, Chris here also came up with an answer to this word of the day. A lot of monotony to set all of this out to make this neat little mosaic of a fish. Very good answer for the word tessellate. The word of the day, orrery. We have a nice little solar system model. I like that it has a little handle, that's what gets this little clockwork thing moving. Just the detail work, the type of orrery that you decided to choose, because I know I didn't know anything about orrery, so when I made mine I had to look up different kinds of orreries and like how they look. Some of them have the gears exposed and some of them I like the choice. Looks like all of us had fun with the word for hourglass too, because they're all very nice entries. And I think it's because it's such a simple object, and because it's such a simple object, we all went to town like adding our own flair and detail to it. Just a random little thing, and I don't know if you did this on purpose, but the background is that solid dark blue. I started using Blender around 2009 when Blender was still the light gray theme. Back in those days, the default background color when you rendered your scene was this dark blue, and your background here reminds me of that. I don't know if that's just a coincidence, but either way, I'm just letting you know that it reminded me of that. And then another one, for those of you who participated in Blenduary, how many of these words did you surprise yourself that you were even able to come up with a good idea for some of these words? Because like embroidery, I know a lot of Blender users, myself included, are men. Men can embroider too, but just stereotypically embroidery isn't something that men do. So I wondered like how that word would take off, and that's kind of why I included it. I was just curious, what would happen. I was curious what I would do with it. Kind of surprise ourselves that we were able to come up with something so cool, even though certain ones may have been one that we wouldn't have normally done. I assume you did some geometry nodes or maybe something with curves. I love this wood texture. I presume it's procedural. If so, very well done. I like this one. It's just very pleasing to take in. What was the word of the day? Mirage. Okay, see, mirage was a hard one to come up with. Some of those words were like, yeah, exactly like that. So like the ideas that people came up with for this word were all very different, but I like this one. It's just like this glowing pink sphere bubbling up the water. Now, I don't know how you did that. Is that actual volume, or is it like a particle system with the little splashes? And then this one floating up here. Chris, you have a knack for the abstract, and this is abstract in a different way. Like it is abstract, but it's based in the physical, since we have like a body of water here, something that like could be real, but it's not. I just like it. The word of the day was terrarium. It looks like this is like a holographic tree inside of this little globe, because an actual terrarium, that's what I tried to make, and I never finished it on that day. Other people who also answered didn't make a full terrarium either, but I like the choice to make it like a little holographic terrarium. Very cool choice, because you have to come up with something. Some words of the day are just hard. It's like the thing that you know would be the logical answer to that word, is going to be too much for one day, so then you've got to come up with what can I do within one day, and this is a cool choice. And then finally we have turtle. Very wonderfully done, very nice. Oh, and this one's an animation too. Nice. Nice job, Chris. Wonderful. Just look at that model. I don't expect anyone to do an animation for Blenduary, but if you are able to do an animation, like, that's just amazing. That just blows me away. Other than that, I think I'm not going to feature my works. I'll scroll through them. I guess I'll just like my very favorites. I guess that's kind of the point. So the word of the day was spider. I had a lot of fun on this one. I'm not going to go into detail about it because I literally have a video on my channel that you can watch how I made this. The only thing is I did change the color of the spider. Originally on the Blenduary day, I had the spider yellow with little brown spots on it. Later on, I changed it to brown. This is literally the last video that I just posted. This one, I wish I would have recorded. I just wanted to spend this day just working alone without being recorded. I kind of wish I would have recorded this process because this would have been a fun video to post the behind the scenes. But I will brag about this one a little bit. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I did have fun with it. Most of these marbles that I used for the planets, I actually used a volume shader. This pink one, this mint green one, the yellow sun in the middle, which is really fun, and this black and pink one. If you use the glass shader, and if you try to put a volume scatter inside of it, it'll just be black. I felt like there were some things that I could notice about glass and liquid materials in real life that I thought Blender wasn't representing accurately, and it's just my own hypothesis. So I made my own glass shader that treats light a little bit differently. Completely by coincidence, it landed up not only looking a little bit more accurate, it made a lot of things better too. It made caustics easier, but one of the things in this case, if I put a volume scatter inside, it actually allows the light through. So I've been taking an advantage of that. I just had a lot of noise texture going on the inside here to make some cloudy bits and different colored areas. I think after that, I will only highlight one more. This was the first one out of all of my Blenduary works that got featured on Blender Nation, so that was cool. Thank you so much, Bart, and thank you, Bart, for featuring all of the other people who participated in Blenduary on Blender Nation. That's really awesome to see that. But this one was fun. The word of the day was workshop, so I decided I didn't want to do. I did a video on this on YouTube, so you can literally just watch that. But I had so much fun making this, and like this is literally if I could work on Blender like in VR instead of just on a computer screen, or if like I could digitize myself into the Blender world, which would be even more impossible, or if I could make something like this in real life, like that would be cool, putting giant TV screens embedded in my wall. Other than that, thank you for watching. Keep an eye out for next year because next January and February we will be doing this again. If you do participate next year, then you'll probably get your work highlighted in one of these videos. And also another thing, for this year, I created this little image for people to spread around. I call it the splash screen because I literally made it look kind of like the Blender splash screen. One of the things that I'll do too is I'll pick one of the entries from this year's Blenduary entries. With their permission, I'll use their image in next year's splash screen like this. It can either be vertical or it can be horizontal. Vertical, horizontal, did I get that right? Yeah, very good. Anyway, Blenduary was just such a fun time. If you do want to participate in next year in Blenduary, I mean, I know everybody says this, but you can follow me on Instagram. There's a link you can follow. You can subscribe to me here, and I will come out with a video reminding you. Join us, spread the word. If you think that it would be fun for other people that haven't heard about Blenduary yet, tell them about Blenduary so that we can get a whole thing every year that Blender artists just come together and try to do something every day. Yeah, it's just fun. It's just fun to get artists together and see what we come up with. So thank you all for watching. For those of you who participated in Blenduary, thank you. And starting the video in 3, 2, 1. Do I really need a countdown? I'm just standing here. Oh, there's another one for the bloopers. All right. Oh, all right. I'm having a weird day today. My hair isn't staying in place. So vain. Part of the reason I kept putting this off is because I wanted to. What am I doing? Where's the? I didn't need that. No, I don't need to take a screenshot. I'm just trying to maximize. I don't know what that word is. D-E-M-I-N. Demon? Texture, I guess. And it's not doing what I want it to. Portfolio. Now I have to scroll down again. Hexagonal? Hexagonal? Yeah, it is hexagonal. It's a hexagon, but it's not hexagonal. It's hexagonal. Anyway, like I'm going like this because I have my camera like literally right at the bottom of the screen I'm looking at. So I have to go like that to see over my camera. And see, human generator. And again, this thing. I press the back button and it doesn't bring me back. It brings me back to another thing that I've already looked at. I don't know what's going on with the browser. The face model. I guess I shouldn't have my hand over my mouth even though it's just, lazy. The microphone can't. Of course, they're not real photons. Well, they're photons now. They're not, Blender doesn't make actual photons, but photons, get emitted by your computer screen. So you actually are seeing photons here, of course, scientifically. And then let me get back again, go to portfolio, scroll down again. That's annoying. Hey Blenderhead, do you like Blender artists? Would you like to contribute to a good cause? If find our website helpful and enjoy the community later, I'll do that. Let me click X on this. So it's well, no, I don't. I feel bad to click the X on it because I want to do it. I don't know if I can right now, if I can afford it. But I mean, of course, it doesn't take much, like I said. But I'm already scrimping and saving right now, which is why I'm trying to post YouTube videos. Back in them days, very very improper English. Back in those days. Let's see, and again, the browser is doing that thing again. I know there's going to be plenty of bloopers for this one. I might as well just keep all the bloopers. And the browser is doing that thing again. Portfolio, and again, my browser is doing this weird thing. It's only the Blender Artist's website. Whenever I go back, sometimes it doesn't actually go to the previous page. It just goes to the other next page that I'm not in anymore, that I went back and anyway, and again, the browser is doing that thing again every time. But I'm the one who started Blenduary, so I should have participated more. But things go that way, and I don't put myself down. Well, not for that anyway. I can't tell what that one is. Let me look closer at my screen to see if I can tell what it is. Oh, I forget what that one was. Ooh, I'm talking too much and kind of draining myself because I'm an introvert, so I get drained by people, but I even get drained by myself. I talk too much. I gotta cool down. A little tiny break. Again, browser's doing that thing again. Fixed up in Krita. I don't know how you pronounce these things. I read these things all the time. I don't know how to pronounce them. Encyclopedia, the mysteries of the universe. Master class in chemistry. I'm just reading all those books on the site. Okay, and we have this again. Now it's doing it all even more difficult. I'm gonna watch this for a little while. Oh, the eyes move if they weren't posted. Here we go again. And the word click, open it. Okay, I'll go back. Just like Mike Edwards. I know so many Mikes, I had to remember what the last name was, but I was going to try to make an actual terrarium with like plants and a little Diplocaulus on the inside, which is a prehistoric hammer-headed giant salamander. Anyway, I never finished that. I guess it's not bragging if I'm asking others to brag about themselves too. Anyone who participated in Blenduary, brag about yourself. In the comments, the little tricks that you used for this day. Excuse me. So let's go back. Let's find my other stuff. And once again, it's not doing it. And yeah, maybe that video will be recommended unless it's the other one that I mentioned. So you could either watch the spider video next, or you could watch the workshop video next. But I'm only going to put one of them. So whichever video is there, because if there's two videos, then it makes it hard for people to decide. So there's only going to be one of the videos that I'll link at the end of this. Anyway, and I am just talking because I don't know how to wrap up this video. So I will say goodbye and thanks for watching.